What's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy Flash Speaks back, man, for the last one of the day. Gotta be, man. Listen, but I had to do this, man. Listen, angry fan, boy. You just put out one of the most pathetic videos I ever seen. Pathetic message that ain't gonna do nothing but add more fuel to the flame for this Caitlin Clark thing. But anyway, man, my man Angry Fan, he puts out a video. You know he's a Clark. He put out a video. Uh, talk about here's the truth, Caitlin Clark, right? Here's the truth. Supposedly a message to her, right? Bruh, my man hit every single talking point that Clarky's hit. Every single this was like the most classic, stereotypical joint. Like if someone was to put together a video just making fun of them like a Saturday night lights night live skit, they could not have done better than what Angry Fan had done here. It's so ridiculous that I got to talk to him as he's talking to her, man. So what we gonna do? We gonna play this thing, man, and I got to chime in. This is ridiculous.
Yo, shout out to everybody out there. Welcome to Angryfan Sports. Caitlin Clark, this blog is for you. Because I need you to understand what's going on out here. No matter how much you smile, no matter how cool you try to be, you are going against an entire system. Starting from Kathy Engelbert, working its way down. Referees, players, your organization, your coach, all of them are against you. Wake up. Understand that. Hell, I think some of your teammates are against you. They are all using you. Either it's for a financial gain or it's to blow up and be popular because they're next to you. Something. They're benefiting somehow. Look at how many Indiana Fever were actually in the top 30 for the All-Star game. That would have never happened if you were not around. You need to understand this. They want you out of here. And the sad part about it is you just want to play basketball.
All right. So let's work out the logic here. So he's saying that players, teammates are hers. First of all, Kathy Engelberg don't want to hear, right? Um, uh, which one called the coach, Stephanie White don't want to hear, and then he's saying players don't, right? But at the same time, players are here trying to use her for their own benefit, their own gain, like to make money, to get popular. They wouldn't be on the All Star team if it wasn't for her, all this type of stuff, right? But then he says they want her out of here. What kind of logic does that make, right? How am I going to use you, but I want you out of here? This is crazy. This is funny. Go ahead.
That's it. You just want to compete and help grow the WNBA. Personally, I feel like you should say fuck them. You need to threaten that you're going to go overseas where you will be respected. You have millions of fans who went from paying $3 to an Indiana Fever game 2 years ago to now they're paying $300-$400. That's not fair. Now, it would be one thing if we were watching you be you, like we did last season after the Olympic break, which you got snubbed on, by the way. But that's not what's happening anymore. Now, $300-$400 is going to watch you stand in the corner. You went from a point guard to a small forward so that we could let a backup point guard start in your place.
All right, so now he talking about now you talking about this. I'm gonna talk to you, bro. I'm gonna talk to you. So now you talking about she need to just be like pack up, man, because of what's happening to go overseas. Cause I'm over here, you know what I mean, helping all these people out. You know, because all these bumpkins from the Midwest want to watch me play, and it's helping you get All Stars votes and all this kind of stuff. So I'm over here, and everybody mooching off of me. So you know what I need to be like, F y'all, and I'm gonna go overseas where I'm gonna be respected. Alright, number one, how you know she's gonna be respected overseas? Like, who told you that? How you know she's gonna be respected overseas? Number two, how do you know her fan base overseas is gonna be the same like it is over here? How are you gonna watch the games? Right? Is it gonna be on the league pass? Is it gonna be a different way? How will all that work? Number three, don't you know that overseas they're actually like more physical? So like, you know, the way y'all complain about physicality here that's happening in the W, that is actually twice as physical over there. So what y'all gonna do? End up complaining again about physicality now and how much they don't respect her. right? Because you can sit here and try to throw this stuff in the W's face as far as like not making money and the sport not being big and all that because Americans just, for whatever reason don't generally like to watch women play basketball, right? But they don't have that problem overseas. They already making money. They paying players more overseas. It's a whole different world over there. You can't throw this whole same BS in their face about Caitlin Clark is making you popular and she's gonna grow you or something like that, right? Y'all can sit here and play this same game, what y'all doing, about how she need to be treated with some preferential treatment because she's growing the game and everything. But number one, you don't know if she's gonna dominate. And number two, you don't know if she's gonna be respected, and you don't know that they're gonna need her to do that. They good over there. And then the other reason why it's illogical and why it won't happen is because Nike did not give her $28 million to go play over in Germany or England. No. She's paid that money by Nike to play here. That's why it's really ridiculous anyway. But let's go.
When you are the generational talent, Asia Wilson was never called a generational talent. Paige Beckers is never called a generational talent. It's you. Understand your worth, because I don't think you get it right now. It's to the point that your own family is not going to games.
This NINJA just said that AJ Wilson was not generational talent or never called a generational talent. By whom? Whoever said that AJ was not generational talent. Are you serious? Bro, whatever it is you smoking or doing worse to before you push record, you need to stop. Because I would argue that Caitlin Clark is not a generational talent, okay? But AJ Wilson, without a doubt, is. Right? You're talking about 6'5" athletic. That's called generational, sir. Right? Just 6 feet. Like, I can find a number. Well, 6 feet is taller than the average woman, but I can find more 6 feet people than 6'5" people that can do things, okay? Right? I don't think you quite understand what generational is. Like, what is your definition of it? That would be my question to you, because to say that one's not generational is ridiculous. And then also, Paige Beckers has always been ranked higher than her pretty much throughout their whole high school years and pretty much college until she faced an injury. Do your research, sir.
More, because they are disgusted by how you are being treated. So you told them, do not come to the games. If I win, we will celebrate behind the scenes. What?
I think I missed something here. Let's see.
Point you have to prove at this point in time. Talent. Paige Beckers is never called a generational talent. It's you. Understand your worth, because I don't think you get it right now. It's to the point that your own family is not going to games anymore because they are disgusted by how you are being treated. So you told them, do not come to the games. If I win, we will celebrate behind the scenes. What point do you have to prove at this point in time? You've already pushed African Americans to the forefront. You've already tried to get people money behind the scenes. You've done everything in your power to uplift this game, and they still diarrhea on you every chance they get. You played.
Where's your evidence? Where's your evidence that you pushed African Americans to the forefront? You mean making statements, just saying the obvious? Like, nobody had to push African Americans to the forefront. African Americans kind of did that themselves by playing, right? They did that themselves. Caitlin Clark didn't push anybody to anything. She just stated the obvious. That's not good, Angryfan. You might want to reconsider that one then. That's not good, my brother.
All your entire career and only got hurt at the WNBA multiple times this year. This is getting insane now. I personally feel like you should start saying, I want to go overseas where I'm respected. Let the WNBA die, because they was going to die before COVID. Let's not get this confused. They were done. They were done. Let them die. Start your own league.
All right, bring your evidence to that, okay? That they were done before COVID.
Start a traveling league. Do something that you like. I'm sitting here watching you get praised from the NFL, from the MLB, in golf. Like, what are we talking about? Every other genre of sport likes you except for the WNBA, which is who you want to play for. I understand you grew up watching it. I understand you like Maya Moore and Cynthia Cooper and Rebecca Lobo and Lisa Leslie and Candace Park. I understand all of that. But they don't like you. 2025 IR.
Now you're lying. Last time I recall, Rebecca Lobo, all she does is praise Caitlin Clark. That's all she does is Glazer. You go back to Nancy Lieberman, who actually they fired Cheryl Swoops for. Nancy Lieberman says, "Oh, thank Caitlin Clark. We thank you for everything that you've done for women's sports." Right? That's Nancy Lieberman. Both Candace Parker and Cheryl Miller were on a podcast. I think you need to watch a little bit more of these things where, like, things that are actually being held by black people, right? So that way you will kind of understand what's going on. Because it's kind of like a growing thing in our community. We wonder why, like, Candace Parker won't give Angel Reese any type of respect or praise, but she gives all his respect and praise to Caitlin Clark, okay? Same thing with Cheryl Miller, right? It's like you're lying now, right? Or you're just in a state of delusion that is beyond, like, comprehension. All right, sure, Angel Reese got to be on the cover of 2K. That's nice. But as far as, like, attention, coverage, commercials, you know, whether you want to talk about Gatorade or whether you want to talk about State Farm, like, it's all pretty much Caitlin Clark. And as you just mentioned, through all the other sports, like, you got Shady McCoy in them, you got dude Acho, you got all of them. All praise, Caitlin Clark. The only one who's real about things is Joy, because Joy is probably the only one with a somewhat of a vested interest in the sport itself. She's probably the only one out of them that actually watches, and I can tell by the way she talks compared to the way they talk. So you're lying on that, bro, and you got to stop with that. That's not cool.
Tax forgiveness now has open enrollment.
Commercial.
It's easy to qualify. And at this point in time, it's looking to me like Stephanie White is definitely okay with not making the playoffs her way rather than making it your way. We all watched you get crazy last season when you got snubbed from the Olympics. We all watched you get crazy. And for some reason, Stephanie White, someone who claims to have been watching you for 5 years now, took it upon herself to come to Indiana and make you a small forward now. She literally took a backup point guard who was cut by the Sparks, one of the worst teams in the WNBA. They cut her, and she would rather put the ball in her hands than yours.
All right, so this happened in one game, and right here he's jumping to all these assumptions that there's this new situation where they've moved Caitlin Clark to the small forward because it happened in one game, so he's already assuming that, right? So this will be the second game since she's been back. Now, what I'm going to say about this is, like, I think he's overreacting. This isn't really unprecedented. Why? Because you're talking about a situation where the team had actually started to work up some good momentum, and they were playing really good ball, which I think everyone outside of, like, Clark fans, are able to acknowledge that. You were able to beat the Minnesota Lynx in the Commissioner's Cup, and they also beat the Aces. But what he'll do is bring up that they can't beat the Sparks, right? Ignoring the fact they lost to the Sparks with Caitlin Clark, right? So this guy, you tripping, bro? Okay, you're tripping. You're all over the place. You're not really consistent with what you're saying. But I assume they'll probably make Caitlin Clark the point guard again. I think it was just something they tried. Let's try to find a way where she could play with Ari McDonald. Why? You could potentially be a better defensive team that way. And what you can also do is you add now you have three players that can be more dynamic with the ball. Ari, Caitlin, as well as Kelsey Mitchell. All right, I think these are the thinking, and also you want to cut down the turnovers from the point guard position, which Ari McDonald doesn't turn the ball over as much, right? So I think these were the things she was looking at. Tried it out, okay. Actually, if I look back at the game, right, the Fever with that lineup with Caitlin Clark in at the three actually got off to an early lead against the the Valkyrie 20 to 12. I'm not sufficiently convinced that that lineup can't work. Just because they lost. I mean, any new lineup, new additions to a lineup, you got to kind of work through kinks and get used to playing with each other. Like, you can easily explain the loss as Caitlyn and Ari not working with each other for a long time. That could be explained. But for those who want to go with, well, because we tried it this one game, it doesn't work for her at the three. Um, Number one, you're saying Caitlin Clark is not a versatile player, can't play positionless ball. Okay, and then number two, like well, that's what you're saying. She can't play positionless ball. Let's continue. That's what you're saying.
Donald shoots more threes than you right now. Does that make any sense? Don't think too deeply about this. You need to make some moves. And to this point, I feel like you even saying I want to get traded may not be enough because the referees are still not going to call the fouls. You're still going to get disrespected and violated. And at the end of the day, if they put pressure on that coach, they're going to protect their job and let you just be fooled out here in the court, man. Straight up.
All right, so if Caitlin Clark right now says she wants to be traded, how would she look? Well, to me, she would look pathetic and weak and ridiculous. Kind of like this video and everything he's saying. This is pathetic, right? But she would look like, yeah, like it would be clear that she bumps heads with the coaches. All Clark fans want is for her to just, now I'm going to come up with my solution before we get to the end of this video. So I'm going to let him talk a little bit because I'll give my solution because really he's going to get a little repetitive, I think.
You need to figure out what you are going to do. Because I'm going to be real with you. You are bigger than the WNBA. You are bigger. I know it sounds crazy saying that, but numbers do not lie. Every time you play a team on their home court, they are upgrading. I see you. You and Dallas is playing. Y'all upgrading for more fans. I don't think that's fair as a fan. 2 years ago, they were paying a slice of pizza to watch the Indiana Fever play. You got there, now they're paying $300-$400 for a ticket to watch you stand in the corner, to watch Natasha Howard score. What are we doing here? This doesn't make any sense. This isn't fair. And I personally feel like you need to do something, or they're going to keep using you. Understand that. You ain't stupid. They're going to keep using you. All this, you playing around with Stephanie White, you giving her pounds, and you smiling and joking with her, stop all that shit. Let her know you are a grown-ass woman, and your career is in your hands. Because they are trying to mold you now.
This is Buick. Now.
So instead of, like, really teach her how to play basketball at the... And this is what I've been saying about, like, their fans, right? The nature of they don't really know ball like that is really clear in when they start speaking here. Her being taught how to play at a professional level to them is just, you're being molded. They're trying to change you. What they want to see is Caitlin Clark just play like the way she played at Iowa and the way she played at times last year. That's what they want to see. They want to see 4 players with her that just don't do nothing but set screens for her and just prepare themselves to catch passes from her, to get her stats all crazy. That's what he wants. And I'm going to give my solution, like I said, real soon.
Trying to break you down. You look so sad in these press conferences now. You look like you damn near want to cry. Come on now. I don't like this shit. I do not like this shit. You've done way too much for this weak-ass organization. You got Amber Cox over here taking pictures with Cheryl Swoops, someone who has totally did nothing but try to destroy your goddamn game ever since last season. Lying, saying you took an excessive amount of shots, saying you played ball for 5 years, just lying over and over and over again. The WNBA pushed you and Angel Reese into this wild rivalry that we already know she is light years better than you. And guess what? Angel Reese is playing good now. Paige Beckers is balling.
I think what he meant to say is you're light years better than her, but God made him make a mistake and say the truth.
Why are you on the back burner? Why can't you show your talent the way they are now? Come on now. It's to the point your own parents can't even come to the games no more.
First of all, both Angel Reese and Paige Beckers are able to play with or without the basketball. That's the answer. Like, you have a player, you're trying to argue on the behalf of a player that has to have the basketball to be an effective basketball player. If she learned how to play off the ball, she could shine in that way as well, but she can't or she's unwilling to do so. So that's your answer, sir.
You told them don't come because they are disgusted by how you are being treated out there. So you just want to celebrate with them behind the scenes now. This ain't what basketball is supposed to be for you. You've worked too hard. You've worked too hard. Let them know, suck my dick, I'm going overseas. Y'all can die on your own. You are the generational talent. They didn't call Asia Wilson a generational talent. They didn't call Paige Beckers a generational talent because none of them are that. It's you, and they can't stand it. It is time for you to take your future in your own hands. Do not let Stephanie White fuck you over.
All right, so he has a few more minutes of talking, which I'm not going to get into, but I'm going to, because he kind of gets repetitive saying the same thing over and over again. All right, so this is what I'm going to say. Finally, think to you, Angry fan, as well as other Caitlin Clark fans. All right, y'all clearly don't have any respect for this league or for this sport of women's basketball. That's just clear. You're just saying go overseas as if you know how it's going to go over there. You clearly don't even know about that, but that's cool. This is what I recommend, and this is what I'm saying. If any Indiana Fever teammates or anybody can see this, spread the word. Aaliyah Boston, you need to get up out of Indiana. Kelsey Mitchell, you need to get up out of Indiana. Maybe Sophie Cunningham should stay. She's about the one that fits the description of what I'm about to get into. Maybe Lexi Holt does. I would like to see Lexi Holt somewhere like Chicago or whatever, but if she wants to stay, that's fine. Natasha Howard, you definitely need to get up out of there or whatever. What I'm basically saying is any player that of their own accord is an all-star player, of an all-star caliber player, who can be a franchise player on their own, right? Who has the ability to score 20 points, can get rebounds, just a player who's as good as Caitlin Clark. I recommend they get off of that team. What Caitlin Clark needs and what her fan base needs are a bunch of players that fit a different type of description. They need to be players that are just purely role players. Role players who are willing to play defense, right, for someone who's not. Role players for who are willing to set screens for someone who's not, who isn't willing to do that. They have to be willing to catch passes, right, and not make passes themselves in order to play with a player who's not willing to do any of that themselves either. Right, you need a bunch of sycophant type players. Maybe what you should do is trade Kelsey Mitchell for Kate Martin, because not that they're equal talent, but Kate Martin is the type that can work with CC. They need to get maybe just European type players, who just catch and shoot, maybe play a little defense here and there, such and such. Because this is what I think y'all not understanding. There was a concerted effort to help Caitlin Clark this year by the WNBA and also by the Fever. Okay, what they did was they surrounded her. Not only is she already surrounded with two all-star players, in Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell, who made all-star teams before she came, before the votes, before the bumpkins, and all of them who want to see her. They were already all-stars, okay? So she already had that. Now, what they did was they reinforced that with a player, Natasha Howard, who has won multiple championships, okay? Something Caitlin Clark has not done, okay? They reinforced it with DeWanna Bonner, who y'all just talk crazy about, right? Who won multiple championships, something she has not done. Who's over there balling right now in with the Mercury, by the way. They reinforced it with a Sylvie Cunningham, whom y'all like, such and such. Y'all think she's a 3-point shooter, well, blah, 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 right? So there was a concerted effort to build that team with talented players who can get their own shots, who can score, who are accomplished on their own. All right, that's what happened. But guess what? That's not what y'all want, though. Y'all don't want that the classic way. Most players, because most stars, you put them with that, they're gonna win. That's typically the traditional formula of how winning is done. You just give a person a bunch of great players. They all begin to work together, mold their talents. While this young player is still really young, because you look at the early Celtics, look at the early Lakers. I'm talking about the early '80s, right? Magic Johnson. You added him with Norm Nixon and already Michael Cooper and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And then they went and traded for my man McAdoo later and stuff like that, right? They had a team of guys. He come in and he worked good. He worked well with them. He was able to work with stars. Work with stars, bro. Same thing with Bird. When they went and got Bill Walton for him. They went and added the Chief, man, Robert Parrish and Kevin McHale, and Dennis Johnson and they actually had Pistol Pete on that early team, man. To go along with Bill Walton, who already won a championship in Portland. He was able to come in and work with players that are already great. But no, CC fans and guys like y'all don't want that. What y'all want? Y'all want her to really work with a bunch of bums. Because y'all got this belief that the way she plays, that she can carry these bums to actually do something. Nobody else believes that, right? Stephanie White ain't that stupid to believe that, okay? Nobody's that stupid to believe that. But you know who is? Y'all just that stupid to believe that she can carry a bunch of bums. So this is what I suggest. This is what I suggest to make everybody happy. So that way she ain't got to quit. And she had to go overseas with every respect her and all of that. No. Trade Kelsey Mitchell for Kate Martin. Trade Leah Boston for Stephanie Dolson. Okay? Big mama from, the big white girl from, I think she with the Mystics, right? Who just shoots threes. Or she might be with Atlanta, one of them team. She just shoot threes. Get trade Leah Boston for Stephanie Dolson. Right? I guess you can keep, the Aryan twins of Hall and Cunningham, right? Get rid of Natasha Howard. Trade Natasha Howard for, I don't know, one of them girls on in Minnesota, right? Who just can catch Kelly Clark passes and shoot, and that's it. And play defense for her and stuff like that. Because that's the type of team y'all really want to see. Y'all want to see a bunch of players that ain't that good, just so that she can get all the shine, so that others don't shine and stuff like that. That's what I suggest. Now, what it's going to take is for that team to get the doors blown off of them every week. And I also want y'all to get the coach y'all want, like a Bluter. Get Bluter, who lets CZ do whatever she want. Oh, you're the GOAT. Go do whatever. So y'all can get the doors blown off y'all. And I can just have great content and be cracking up. That's my answer, my solution to this issue. That's what y'all should do. And that's what y'all need. Because y'all dudes are pathetic. This is pathetic, man. Instead of holding her accountable and pressuring her to improve her game so that she could play with other greats, what y'all want to do is act like these players ain't great. Like what they've done before ain't real. Like it's somehow imagine everything in some figments of people's imagination, and the only greatness that matters is Caitlin Clark's. This is really where y'all at and what y'all doing. And bro, it's pathetic, man. You should listen to yourself, man. You should watch this video and listen to yourself. But I think I know what it is, man. You know what I mean. You and your Donald Trump impression. That's what you want, right? And this definitely ain't to offend you. I'm saying I'm actually complimenting you, right? Because there was a time when Donald Trump was a Democrat, like years ago, and there was a statement that he made. He said if he ever wanted to run for president, basically, he knows exactly how to rouse up them Southern whites, right? He knows exactly what to say and all of that. He said that years ago. And I think you kind of have a similar skill. You kind of know that you saying some bullshit that, you know, that can rile up the certain people, that can rile up the views. Because I'm looking at your comment section, these people acting like with you, they agree with you 100%. There's something wrong with them, and it's something, and you know it. There's something wrong with them, and you know it, and you know how to rile them up. That's really what I think going on, but it's cool, my bro. That's just my advice to you and to y'all. You know, that's what y'all need to do, man. Put the Indiana Fever to get the team y'all want. You know what I mean? So, that's all I got, man. Peace out.